Hello, it's Thursday. Let's go through the market, see what's going on this morning. Looks like yesterday we closed with the risk off. Gold was up, energy continued, cyclicals were mixed, mostly down, energy continued. Pre-market, we're seeing risk on, but we're seeing it on kind of thin volume, so it's kind of switching back and forth this morning. The VIX is down, and if we look at bonds are getting sold out into this morning. Brent futures are up 3% on the Hormuz stuff. Energy continues to be a driver, so yesterday's little indecisive higher middle volume is really a noise at this point. So that's continuing higher in pre-market, up 1%, 1.7, which is very good to see. And if we go to some of the positions, let's go through the currency pairs and see what's going on. Let's see here. And just briefly, energy leads. Third straight session. Brent broke through the 95, 98. Just like we've shown, bonds are flat, and we're still long XLE on the core portfolio. Looks like the Australian dollar is kind of breaking out really nicely, heading towards the 200-day. And it looks like the divergence is clear, looking like a good pair to ride on the RBA's hawkish momentum. So we're looking at that. We had closed our short on British pound, USD, rode that on the 4-hour all the way to the top, to the bottom, to the 200-day. A lot of traders say the 200-day average is not good, but I've sure made a lot of money on that. And it's being dragged down further by underperforming broader European energy tax. So it seems like the business cost is climbing, and there's no hawkish rescue on that from the Bank of England. So this might further degrade. So we'll be watching that. USJPY continuing up, trying to test that previous wick from the previous 4-hour. This has been a good position we got in, really just a previous range from the consolidation, and we're up a touch on that. Euro USD, very intense sell-off there. Crude oil is kind of changing the direction on this, continuing further downside. And then Google down this morning on really good earnings. So watch this in the pre-market. It's down considerably, 4.2% when I made that post, and things are getting pretty rough. So we'll check out our positions and see what's going on with them. Let's see. Okay. Definitely got a tight book today. TRV. We got into TRV yesterday, and it was essentially just a high tight flag, more or less, after the earnings, and pre-market looks to be pretty flat, so nothing too much to go into on that one. What kind of volumes on that? So just moderate volume. Okay, Microsoft. We're back down a little bit. Pre-market is within yesterday's range, but lower than yesterday. So we're still testing this July range here, but we're still showing higher highs, higher lows. So we're going to keep that as is. That was higher volume. PVI. This was a consolidator. So this is the lower volume, potential pullback, pre-market, down underneath the low of yesterday. We're going to keep a stop loss. Okay. And then CSX. CSX is absolutely crushing it. Pretty intense here. I'm going to move this stop up to that previous high or low. This is pretty crazy. So this is a high volume indecisive candle too. Wow. Okay. All right, I'll take it. And then let's see what the box scanner is up to. I just have one position on that. So we're just riding this out. Definitely way below that low. But we're just following what the algorithm tells us. And then XLF. We're flat on this. It's interesting. But we don't have a stop on that. So yeah, we're just waiting around to see if the strategy tells us when to sell. Let's go look at the scan this morning. Got a bull flag breakout on a couple. Okay. High volume too, but that's a really good consolidation too. We're gonna be looking at IDT, that's nice. And then SF, more banks, financial stuff, rising on the record revenue. Interesting. It's at that core consolidation range. Guess that's a head and shoulders. That's interesting. Those are two good. Yeah, that's the benefit of SignalDeck is our quants over at the family office that I manage, creates strategies internally, and I have access to those within SignalDeck, and that bull flag looks really cool. So leadership. There's a lot of range bound stuff. High type flag. Gold, CVX. Oh, okay. Contrarian, energy. Sector rotation. So XLE still shows to be good on that. Absorption spring. Got a lot of stuff going on. And Meta is showing as a sell. Yep, I would agree with that. Okay. Let's go and check out the box scanner. And let's check out what that guy's up to. This is another feature that we're building at SignalDeck. We have a custom trained vision model, and we're building it to where you can sign up and train the vision model on a certain stock chart style. What I tend to like is the Wyckoff accumulation consolidation range stuff. That's what I gravitate towards, and I'm trying to make that work. So what we're doing here is right now it's fetching 3,000 stocks and it's going through every chart individually. And we're in the process of training it. And we're tracking all the outcomes, all the simulations, so that we can try to get to the point to where this vision model is fully trained on this specific strategy. Right now we're just proving it on one strategy, but the end result could be multiple strategy chart variations depending on how far we can kind of take this. So it takes about a minute and a half to scan 3,000 charts. Pretty fast. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's come back to that in a second. Let's go through some of the random charts. We have a couple ETFs that we added recently that I want to check out. So let's just do that. We got stopped out on Novo. Pretty sad about that. Walmart looks like further consolidation. Nvidia is just doing consolidating. A lot of tech. Tech is consolidating because it was more of a it was more derating to get into the oil names. I expect with tech earnings coming out this week that we're going to see this pop back up. And maybe this is a good time to buy Google. We'll be watching the 200-day and most likely add to that. This one looks real gross. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna check out gold as well. There's travelers. Okay. So let's see here. This Poland ETF is looking really nice. Get the 1, 2, 3 top range. This is more like a poor man's consolidation. We had put a 15-minute watcher on that yesterday. I don't think it filled. And then this European-financials had a kind of low volume, high volume, indecisive candle. We had put a 15-minute on that. So we're watching these two ETFs to see where this goes. It broke out of this range from January to this July, and then broke out. Price went down, touched it on low volume, further consolidated, and now it's pushing back out again. So I don't really have a price target on this, but we're watching that and trying to get into that. Okay, so the scan finished. So now what we have to do is go through and basically just grade these manually, which is pretty quick. We only have about 40 of them to go through. You can do them pretty quick here. And oftentimes I'll be looking at this and getting like an idea. I'll get a stock idea from this, which has been pretty nice because I'm just looking at charts real quick. Okay, so that's pretty quick. Not a lot showing up on that, which is understandable. And then we've had this TRNS ticker show up for multiple days, and it's been a high rating, chart rating, and then the vision model rates it as well. So this chart shows a period of consolidation, Wyckoff accumulation, but not as strong as full confidence. So this is pretty. This is a good consolidation range. I would validate that. It's testing this April, testing the breakout. So that's showing up multiple times, and we've been running this for a few months now. So that's some kind of, with that box scanner, it's basically just a vision model that we're training there. So European financials and Poland. Let's look at gold real quick. And see if our thesis has changed at all on that. So the daily is now just consolidating. And 4 hours is consolidating further. Have some liquidity grab here. Next grab. So I would assume this is going to slam back up to probably like this level. And then probably short further just for a quick short. Let's look at this. Okay, so we had this massive liquidity sweep here. That's crazy. And then price, that would have been a good entry. Short above it, and went up, tagged all the stops, and then ran all the way back down. So I would definitely put a long position above this range here. Let's see. There's a stop, so probably like in that area. Let's see what that looks like. And the stop would be back in that zone. So not too bad, just something we'll watch here. See if we get any movement on that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Went through the trades, not a lot on the table right now. And we'll be watching IDT. That looks like a great high volume. Let's see what the 15 looks like on that. Tons of it right at the close. That looks good. What was I looking at? The one? Oh, okay, got it. So the 1 day is even better. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So we might put a buy order probably like this range. Checking that guy out. And then we had SF. That's pretty interesting. I don't know. Not my style of charts, but okay, that's about it. Catch you later.